know any better.
Talking about milk?
What's up, everybody? Welcome into the DLLS Cowboys podcast, where the great crawfish boil debate of 2025 is about to go down. Mel Kiper with the latest mock draft. We finally got him to change his tune. And Jalen Ramsey's on the block. Should we be going ringy? Welcome. The show starts. Meow. All right, welcome in to today's DLLS Cowboys podcast. That's what you got? That's not what you got?
No, but go ahead.
Don't worry, we're producing some things on the fly here, just looking at some things real quick. Reopen it. That's what I got.
We got it. We good.
That's what I
We're
got.
good. We
That's
good.
what I got.
We'll make it happen.
What you got? That's what I got.
We good. We'll make it happen.
Hello, everyone, and welcome. Please hit the like button.
Y'all okay over there?
Off and cruise. We're just checking out the ad breaks. TC, do you have Own Well Timeline Sleeper Shady Rack?
That's my fault.
You're in the wrong one? Yeah.
I'm in the wrong damn
You were doing
show.
the MAV show.
I'm doing the MAV show.
Yeah.
You were in the
See?
MAV show?
See?
My bad.
See?
Yeah, that's my bad.
See?
That's my bad.
Hey, I have a question for the chat before the Cowboys show
Can you
starts.
scream out John? Scream out John.
John! Only because he said Papa. It's
Yeah.
Papa. That's
Let's go. You tried to do John. Don't be doing John.
I know you said that.
John, I got you,
That's
baby.
That's the only reason
Y'all
you wanted me to
scream out
That's the
John,
only
baby.
reason, man.
Scream out
That's the
John.
only reason.
Wait on John.
Shout out to David Johnson. Jersey City's in the house. What up, Jersey?
Forgive my ignorance because I'm a new WNBA fan
Oh my
because
God.
of Paige Beckers. Nico can't trade her, can he?
No,
He can't do
the
that.
bad man.
He
The bad
can't.
man can't hurt
He
you.
can't do that?
Yeah.
Okay.
He cannot trade her.
Okay.
But I got a nickname for her, and I need the DLS to do some shirts. Lady Buckets. Lady Buckets.
Okay.
Okay.
That works.
Tight.
That works.
I think there's.
I thought you were
going to
go Paige Buckets, and I was going to be like,
No,
that's
Lady
not
Buckets.
yours. I like it.
Lady
Savior,
Buckets.
Savior of the city. Like
We can't use her name because you know it's probably copyrighted. We can use Lady Buckets silhouette of her with
You should probably
DLLS.
get that copyrighted so you get the.
Man, what?
I think it's a good start for a brainstorming. I don't know if it's the end result. That's
Sir,
all, you know.
sir.
Yeah,
Don't
it's a
be
good
trying
start.
to reinvent the wheel, man. It's
Good
already there.
Start.
I think we need to somehow tie in that Nico and Patrick Dumont destroyed an entire sport in a city, and that she is the savior. Like, she's the chosen one that has to be played in somehow. She's bringing basketball back to Dallas.
Yeah.
After they destroyed everything and left it burning and on fire. Like
Playing on Wednesday.
like a bunch of idiots. Yeah, Nico's having a little thing today where no recording is allowed and only select media is allowed. You're a coward. Like, I tried to come up with a different word that isn't like really mean-spirited. I can't.
But also, like,
You
can have.
you burned down an entire franchise, and now when you're allowing people to just ask you a couple of questions, you're handpicking who they are, and you're not allowed to record my answers. It's very, I won't say, because you don't want to say. Because you don't want to.
Also, why publicize the fact that you're going to have a selective off the record chat? Like,
I don't know.
You can have off the record chats.
Coming up
Publicizing
next
it.
on the DLLS
No,
Live show.
somebody's shouting you out, man, saying your skin is glowing.
Well, I
But
don't
they got
acknowledge people that don't spell my name right.
Yeah, there's an I. There's no I.
is that a woman or a man
Doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
well, somebody noticing your skin? That's what I make sure.
Hello, everyone. My name is
Put an
Jeff.
I.
Pause.
Seated next to former Cowboys wide receiver Jesse Holley.
Oh, Jesse Holly went
Everyone's still here.
77 yards. It must be a reality show.
Everyone is still here. No one got fired.
No one got fired yesterday. Although you're not here for Mavs talk. Well, I wasn't talking about the Mavs. I was just talking bad about a person.
Paige.
Yeah. This is now a Wings podcast, matter of fact. How will Paige pair with whoever else is on the Wings? Those other people.
Hey,
Those
hey,
are-
they got some good players.
I'm going to be I'm in now.
Okay.
Whenever they do their stuff.
Enrique.
I'm
It's going to
in.
be good.
DeAndre Carrington or something like that. Yeah,
Yeah, you
she's
said
good.
that with confidence.
Because I didn't want to misspell her or mispronounce her name, but I know the name.
Next
beautiful.
She's really good too. Yeah,
next to
she's
Jesse.
beautiful too.
That
See,
doesn't
Jesse
matter.
knows.
It doesn't matter how they
Jesse
look.
knows. Jesse knows the agenda.
You don't say how handsome the Cowboys players are. Why are you talking about them that way? That's the greatest beat writer in the history of the Cowboys going to tell.
Club hop hop, where
Get a little
legends
pre-dancing.
drop. Clarence Hill just can't stop. Breaking news, you gotta hop. In
No hop.
Club hop hop.
Unmelanated hop.
No hop today.
Next,
That's
next
a handsome dude. I would consider Dak a handsome dude.
Yeah, but you've never said that just randomly on the show. Like, oh yeah, Dak's a good player. Like, yeah, handsome too.
What he said randomly on the show,
What?
he talked about Joe's
I
thighs.
did say Joe was thick.
He did say Joe he got
Built
those
like a video vixen.
video vixen thighs.
Yeah.
So he
Slim
shouted
in the
out
waist.
Joe's thighs, baby.
Slim in the waist, cute in the face.
I sent
You
you
know
all
what
a
I mean?
video. I was in the bakery getting that video vixen on earlier when I sent you all that photo.
Next to Clarence is the second greatest beat writer in the history of Cowboys, Mr. Joe Hoyt.
5-0.
Joe.
5-0. 5-0.
Popo Joe.
They call him 12.
Popo Joe is wild. I love
Popo Joe.
Pop, pop, and Popo.
Popo Joe.
Pop, pop, and Popo.
All right, you guys want to talk about crawfish balls or Jalen Ramsey?
Let's talk about the conference boys because it's the Cowboys right quick. Or both of them, whatever you want to go.
So the Cowboys had their first thing. I don't remember all the names. It's not OTAs. Voluntary
Voluntary workout.
It's the start of the workout program, which we talked about yesterday because Micah was there. The big news was Micah showed up for the start of the offseason program. Yesterday was the first day, and Brian Schottenheimer, the coach, who's all about culture and bonding, had a bonding event.
Yeah, he did. He had a crawfish boil. And
There you
apparently
go.
there was crab too, and there was shrimp. He had a boil. And he had Matt Pittman from Meat Church, who does these things for, I think, for the Cowboys. I know he does for Dak. He does barbecue.
And the big boys, too. He does the big
Yeah.
boys. He does, like, Zach
Okay.
and all those guys, too.
But Dak's his guy for sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
So he started off as a.
So maybe Dak got this thing done instead of
probably did.
And we like just Matt Pittman. You're a fan of we're a fan of yours.
Yeah.
Oh, Matt's a friend of mine, and anything that they have to say that doesn't line up with what I say, I just want everybody to know, is just wrong. Like there's going to be some faulty things said, much like I saw on the internet.
You can't declare before an
I'm
argument that
declaring
everything
before the
is
argument.
wrong.
I'm declaring before the argument because I got on the internet
you
and
can't
I
do
looked
that.
at people's responses to the
Can't do that.
picture that I guess Kalen Carson posted, like the table
Right.
of the boil.
You know, seatbelt, walking seatbelt.
Yeah, seatbelt.
And you know he's a walking seatbelt. We saw him play last year,
Yeah, he's a
right?
seatbelt.
Seatbelt.
It
He
turned
played-
out what happened was
What
we
happened?
were right that the Cowboys had no second receiver, and he could cover the hell out of them in camp. Then they played other teams.
Yeah.
So that happened. But anyway, maybe other people want to set it up, but I saw a bunch of comments on the internet, and I actually responded to a non-football thing because I was exhausted of reading all the same things. I'm like, oh, you guys don't know how a crawfish boil works. Because I saw a lot of comments that said, where's the seasoning? There's no seasoning. Where's the seasoning? There's no seasoning. Which just let me know that everyone who sent that message has never had good crawfish. They've never been to an actual boil. They're going to restaurants and they want to see you boil it in just regular water and then dump seasoning on a shell when you're not eating the shell. And then they just want it to look like there's seasoning on it. So they can be like, look at all that seasoning. So they don't actually want flavor. They just want you to dump crap on a shell that you're not eating, I guess.
Yeah, I think
It's boiled in the seasoning. The seasoning is inside.
Yes, and we're with you on that because
inside.
I'm with you on that because that's true because it doesn't have to be all over the seasoning.
Okay.
The problem a lot of people had was the shrimp, as Dominique says, as Jesse will say, it was light skin. The shrimp.
It was light skinned.
You just got to zoom in.
No, we did.
No,
we
we
did.
zoomed-
We
we zoomed
zoomed in.
I've been to some shrimp balls. I've been to some unseasoned and seen some unseasoned shrimp boils and crawfish boils, and that's the problem that people. Looks can be deceiving. That's what your point is.
Yeah.
Looks can be deceiving.
Yeah, I know the man.
And
The man
and
didn't do a boil
and
without seasoning.
Nobody said that, but looks can be deceiving for sure. Go ahead.
No, it's just, and this is not a dig at you because you are my friend.
Or
and I
Meat
do-
Church.
Or Meat Church.
There would never be a dig at me because
I
my
love you.
crawfish boil has more seasoning because you're going to make this a racial thing.
I'm
I
making
season
it a
more.
Jeff thing.
I season
I'm making
more.
it a Jeff thing.
Than normal people.
I'm
people.
making it a
Normal,
Jeff
know the
thing.
stereotypes
normal
about us.
unmelanated
We season
people.
a lot.
I know the stereotypes about my people.
No, I'm making a Jeff. It's a Jeff thing.
Okay.
Okay, you are the same person who has the palate
Yeah.
of a.
I did. I've upgraded.
What, you gonna say a black man?
It was
No,
7.
no,
No, I was a
I was
7-year-old. Now I'm like
I was
13.
Okay,
I was
you
going to say
13.
something.
So you don't have them high.
because I was going to say something before. I was going to say 13 too, but I was going to say something
about
before 13.
I'm about 13, 14.
I need some spice in mine though. I need some extra spice.
Like when you say certain things, I don't know if you have
Oh, where's this going?
The palate. He's going. It's
Oh,
a
no,
palate.
I know, but he's
palate,
gonna.
the brevity
Yeah, no.
to speak on seasoning.
No, I'm a
Oh.
spice man now, though. I am a spice man. So when you have a crawfish boil, I'm going to tell you a secret. The powder that you use for the seasoning, I have a liquid and a powder. Use them both. It says on the packaging how many pounds it will do. I use about 5 times what it says.
Okay.
Because that's how I was taught by people who look more, I would say more like you than me.
Yeah.
Who went to LSU. Like they taught me the ways of the boil. Brian brought us and then some other friends.
But Brian doesn't look.
Brian
like
looks like me, but older. But then my friend David was my other crawfish master, and he looks more like you.
Dave Hellman?
Than me. No.
I thought you were going to say Dave Hellman.
I'm like, brother, you 0 for 2 on these.
Collins. You probably know one of his family members.
Okay.
LC's little brother.
Yeah.
Yeah. He taught me. He's one of my teachers.
Me and him had crossways because he tried to say I had Omega hat. Talking about LSU hat. Like, brother, you are melanated. You know what a Q-Dog hat looked like.
No.
I had a problem with him at training camp.
Okay. Well.
Cause remember, y'all had a thing at your house when you were still at.
Oh yeah. Now we're just talking about
he
my
was
buddy
he-
David.
and
Yeah.
he
Because you were wearing
came from
purple. You were wearing yellow and purple.
You're a black man. You know this was not LSU purple, and I had all my fresh stuff on there. Don't be telling me LSU.
Don't turn our people against ourselves.
I'm not. I'm just saying.
We need to stick
I
together.
like
in these
LC.
times.
And I like
especially when
his
it comes to
brother,
seasoning.
but don't come to me about purple and gold. And
Don't
you should
fracture
know.
the black community. We
listen.
need to stick together.
Anyway,
I'm not saying that Jeff. Someone says I'm not saying that Jeff eats potato salad with raisins. I'm just saying that you may find some of that at some of his places.
I don't need either of those things. Either of those
anyway,
things.
but the bottom line here is that Schottenheimer, Dak, they're creating bonding events, and today because they got called out for not celebrating.
No, you just.
I was going to say.
You just dig in.
Dang.
All right, go ahead.
No.
You here? Go ahead.
No, they
ahead.
were doing. We said they were doing paintball. They were congratulating
It looks
paint
like
bunkers
paintball.
and looked like they were at a paintball event. So they're doing. I'm pointing to bonding event.
Okay.
Like
All right.
that was a bonding
That's a good
event.
turn. That's a good U-turn you
yeah.
made. Good
So
U-turn you
Schottenheimer
made.
is
That's a good turn.
staying true to his agenda of building a culture and doing bonding events. So they shouted out Paige Buckers, Dak, and Micah, and they looked like they were at a paintball event. So yesterday, first day of off-season program, they had a crawfish boil. Today, second day of off-season program, they're doing paintball. That's what I'm saying. So shout out to Sade, Dak, whoever's trying to create this atmosphere of culture. And again, second straight day, Micah's there. Pay the man, Jerry. Pay the man. Micah's showing up.
He's going to.
Being true to his word, whatever.
He gonna
Be true to his word. He did in the last couple of years. So
He gonna pay like August 3rd.
Okay, that's fine. Pay
Yeah.
the
August
man
3rd.
now, because when it's time for stuff on the field, if Micah's smart, they just smart, he ain't gonna be there.
But then Jerry
shouldn't
would
be
say,
there.
"See, you said you were going to be a
No,
leader, young man."
I'm not
That's what you
chancing.
said.
I'm not chancing money. I do the workouts. I do the crawfish boil. I do the paintball. When it's time to start backpedaling and rushing and going to get somebody, no, dog.
You can get hurt paintballing. You can get hurt paintballing.
Again.
Can I-
Jesse,
You
when
get
it's time
hurt-
to get on the field, what you supposed to do?
Get that check first.
Thank you.
You can get hurt paintballing.
Can I tell you guys something real quick?
Mm-hmm.
Put bell peppers in the crawfish boil. It's a nice little addition.
Oh, I like that.
It's a nice little addition. Pretty any vegetable.
You know what? I'm just on your side for anything you say
any
now. food-wise.
any vegetable soak up that seasoning so good.
Seasoning's
soak up
incredible.
that seasoning so good.
When people don't put the potatoes in the boil, I'm like, what are we doing?
Sir,
What?
Everything goes in the boil.
you
That's
don't
what
even,
I'm saying.
You don't even like crawfish.
Everything.
I like crawfish boils.
The event is what I mean. I like crawfish.
Crawfish
but
boils are
it
awesome.
is- it
I
is
know,
about
but it's
the
about the crawfish.
It's
You
about
got to keep the main thing the main thing.
No,
you
I
can't
think- I
really
like-
appreciate a boil if you don't eat the
We
main
talked about
ingredient.
this before show. I don't have the ability to separate so fast, so I don't think the effort's worth it. But see, and I think
You
they
got to
do.
suck the head.
Yeah, I don't.
You
I
got
don't
to get the juice.
I don't suck heads.
Not yet. It's the first time for everything.
Don't touch me.
Don't
Touch me.
but
Keep me
don't.
out of this.
But definitely, yeah.
Keep me out of this.
If you don't eat crawfish, but
Man
you
is
will
married.
eat other things
It's a
in the
newlywed.
boil, you need to let the host know. Because I need to know if I got to put more andouille and corn in there. Because if you're just going to come take all my andouille and corn out of my boil so I can't have any because you didn't eat the crawfish, let me know in advance.
That's a good
So
call.
I know to put some more in.
Well, I'm letting you know in advance.
Okay.
Aaron Chang, we coming there,
Yeah,
buddy.
let's
We
some-
coming there,
let's
buddy.
get
We
some-
coming
let's
there.
get some,
We got stuff to talk about.
That's right. Aaron's mad. Okay, Aaron's upset.
Yeah, we'll
about
get back
no
on.
football talk.
Come on, Dominique.
I'd like to tell you something, Aaron. And I want to look dead in the camera when I say it. When it's time for us to do our show, it's for you. So we're going to do exactly what you want. Football. Jalen Ramsey is on the trade market. Should the Cowboys make the call? Will the Cowboys make the call? Is next on the DLS Cowboys podcast.
Let me tell you about my good friends at Timeline. Timeline sells health and longevity supplements featuring their proprietary
You were close.
proprietary.
There you go.
That's it.
You missed an R.
Proprietary.
Went proprietary.
Proprietary. No,
That's the timeline.
Mito Pure ingredient. Mito Pure works with the cells in your body to help reverse age-related decline.
Sir.
Age-related decline.
Sir, I'm on your side.
I'm just saying, if you want
Sir,
the help of
you talk
age-related
well for a
decline-
black man, okay? You talk
Speak
well. You
well.
speak
Wow.
well.
Wow, the cells in
So
our
I'm on your
bodies are the
side.
building blocks for life. If you head over to timeline.com right now and use the promo code DLLS, you can get 10% off your first order. You don't want to start trying to live a good life later on. Start right now. Get on Timeline and reverse those aging components that are happening in your life. Timeline.com. Use the promo code DLLS and get 10% off today.
Yes, and we maybe snag you some money to go get you some Mo Timeline if you hit up our friends at Ownwell. So owning property comes with a bunch of challenges. Overpaying on property tax shouldn't be one of them. I know for myself, I've had a house for about 7 years. I've been paying a mortgage, and yeah, that number's gone up by $500 or $600 over the course of those 7 years because property taxes. Ownwell believes that when it comes to paying property tax, you should only pay what's fair. You sign up with them in under 3 minutes, and their team of local experts in cutting-edge technology can start saving you money with no upfront cost. So that's what they do. They go and challenge those property taxes, and you don't pay anything up front.
Check that out right there.
When they save you money,
what that says right
your
there.
appeal is underway.
My appeal is underway.
They're working
I'm on
on it.
Ownwell.
They're
My
working
appeal is
on it.
underway at
Let's
Ownwell,
go.
baby.
And they don't get anything from you. You know, they're going to get that for you, and then they get a little something. So there's no upfront costs. They're just going to go take care of that for you. It's our friends at Ownwell. The deadline to protest is May 15th for most counties, so get on it. Ownwell.com/DLLS. All right, the Dolphins and Jalen Ramsey are not best friends right now. And I hadn't seen him tweet this 5 times like Tyreek Hill. I haven't seen that.
The peace sign. Peace sign. Throw up the peace sign.
The Dolphins and Jalen Ramsey are mutually set to explore trade options. And it wouldn't be a surprise if he played elsewhere this upcoming season, according to Ian Rappaport and Tom Pelissero this morning. So the question becomes, do the Cowboys have the huevos? Do they have the marbles to just like call the GM of the Dolphins? Is that Greer?
Mhm.
Right?
Yeah.
Does Jerry have the gravitas?
If you want to win, put Booby in, okay? If you want to go all in, call Jalen Ramsey. Go get Jalen Ramsey. Impress me. Take the wheel, okay? Do something.
Jerry would first have to know who his agent is.
Well, he don't have to know his agent. He has to know because he has to deal with his agent. He already has a contract. Okay, you have to accept that he's going to pay him $21 million this year. Dolphins have already paid him $4 million of his $25 million salary and a bonus.
21.
So it's $21 million. I understand the cap hit may be lower than that. But the bottom line is if you're truly all in, you're truly trying to go for it, you have holes at corner, make the call, Jerry. Make the call. Go do it. You don't know if Dix is going to be here. You let Jordan Lewis walk. Go inquire about Jalen Ramsey to see what it costs. If it's a 4th round pick, that's your MO. That's your brand. That's your agenda.
We got one of those.
Oh, a 5th round pick, 2 5ths. You got one. You got 2 of them.
If a 5th was a 5th, then we'd
We'd
all
all
be
be drunk.
5ths.
We don't have Jeremy.
If it was a 5th, we'd all be drunk. If it was a 5th, we'd all be drunk. But my point is, package 2 5ths, package a 4th next year. At least running up the flagpole. Don't do what you did last year when you didn't make the call on Derrick Henry. When you didn't even try on Derrick Henry. That's twice.
Thought you might
When you
mention
didn't
that,
even
yeah.
make the
Thought you
try.
might
Hit the
mention
over.
Run
Derrick
it
Henry today,
up
yeah.
the flagpole.
Yeah.
Try.
I mean, and they certainly could. I mean, they have the cap space for it. They have the need, as you said.
Right.
In terms of also Jalen Ramsey, like where is he at in his career? Turning 31 this year, but he's still a darn good player, right? When he's healthy, and
Better than what they got.
and way better than what they got. I think it would give you a 1-year solution. And I think if you truly are where you think you are,
Hanging around the rim.
hanging around the rim, as the Cowboys like to say,
That's their words.
their words.
They're half drunk 7 feet behind the 3-point line.
But they
and already picked up the dribble.
YOLO!
Steph, Chef Curry, white chocolate.
They look like,
but if they
Dwight
believe where they're
Schrute
at-
handling the ball.
yeah,
Praise Buckers!
yeah. But if they believe where they're at, go make that deal. But let's be honest.
Yeah. I mean, you got Deron Bland is what you got at corner, according to me. I mean, yes, you traded for Kyer Elam, and if you don't have anybody else, he gonna play football. And Izzy Mukwamu or Kalen Carson or somebody is gonna play football. If
Or
you don't-
insert rookie here.
if you don't have anybody else. I did look up, did a little helicopter parenting of the Cowboys here, and
Beckers.
yeah,
Beckers.
it's Becker. But I mean,
Lady Buckets.
We were just making sure I hear him, so language.
Okay,
Yeah, no. It was good. It was good.
I wouldn't worry about it. But
It's
yeah,
a lot.
our
corner.
boss would just stick his whole brontosaurus neck in here every time. Every time, like we up to
Every
something.
time.
I did a little peek here. This is the Cowboys cap space right now. What's that number look like to you?
37 million.
Right.
Yeah, about
And they can get more with the coming deal for Michael Parsons. So they got room. They can get more room with the coming deal for Michael
So you
Parsons.
got
roll
40
over
to
cap, too.
45. You need about 8 to 10 for your draft class. So you got about 30 to burn, give or take. And Jalen's 21.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know. I'm not a big believer that the Cowboys will do just common sense stuff sometimes.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like in their mind, if this was a guy nobody had ever heard of that had failed for 3 years in the league but was a first-round pick and they thought he was good 3 years ago, that they would make the call and maybe make a trade. But when it is somebody that they assume has more of a market, that they might not even bother. And it's like, what does it hurt you to be like, dude, what are you looking for? Okay. We might call you back. Bye.
I agree with you on, and all of you, on making the phone call. Let's inquire. Let's find out what are you asking for. If they say a number that you like, whatever the compensation may be, and I know that Jalen Ramsey is better than what you currently have, but is he better what you currently have at $21 million? Like, is that the question that we're talking about? Is he worth the player?
Yes.
Is he worth the $21 million that you would have to pay him this year?
For 1 year, yeah.
It ain't my money.
No, I get that.
And it's his last guaranteed money, so you could literally cut him after the season. I mean,
Yeah.
if
It's
so,
it would be a 1 year deal,
or
essentially.
trade him again. Depending, like if you went a year with him, then you can do whatever you want.
Is the
you have the money.
juice
It's
worth
just
the squeeze? Is
right.
what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Is the compensation worth what if it's a 1 year thing?
And consider this: every other free agent acquisition outside of
Fowler,
outside of defensive tackle from
Peyton Turner,
no
Solomon Thomas.
Solomon Thomas are 1 year deals. So everybody's 1 year deals. So you've 1 year deal your whole free agent class pretty much, except Solomon Thomas. And so if you pay for 1 year, that's kind of the agenda, what you've been doing anyway, and you're trying to win. I got a question for you guys. Riddle me this, Batman.
It better be a question.
The Dolphins have two players who won out. And they're both at need positions for you.
We don't
Tyreek Hill.
We don't got the cap space to take both.
No, not both. One or the other.
Oh, okay.
Tyreek Hill, who's
New
still
extension, right?
closer to the top, or aging Jalen Ramsey at 31 years old. What would you rather have? What would you rather trade for? And understanding Tyreek Hill has way more baggage
Yeah.
Got some stuff.
he's bringing with
got some
him.
stuff.
But Tyreek Hill or Jalen Ramsey, both are needs.
Okay, I don't have to take the signing bonus on Tyreek. So of the 28, you are probably going to be on the hook for 15 of it, 16 of it.
How old's Tyreek now?
I don't like
31,
Tyreek. I don't,
32?
so I'm gonna make this personal. I don't like Tyreek Hill as a human.
Okay.
So I'll take Jalen Ramsey.
What'd he do to you?
Me, nothing.
What do he
This
do with
is-
his girlfriends or
this is-
wives or
yeah, he's
fiancés or
a-
whatever else?
They didn't arrest him or nothing. They just ran by, said, hey, what y'all up
Just
to?
said, hey.
He got a
All right.
history of
Peace out.
He got a history.
Yeah, we know the
DV.
history.
He got a history of DV.
No, I'd rather take Jalen Ramsey too.
God, Tyreek Hill is like
But he's so
1
good.
year removed from being unstoppable.
Right. And the quarterback was hurt last year for much of the year, so you didn't really get the chance to see him at his best either.
Look, if he is not in legal trouble, which he's not, I'll take Tyreek Hill.
I think I'm on the Hill bandwagon too.
That's fine.
It's just one of those things where you
I'm
go
with Jesse,
and you're
though.
like, okay, look, here's the thing. We're going to play sports. He's going to play sports on someone's team. It might as well be mine.
Right.
Like,
That's fair.
Tyreek, I mean, they move Waddle too, but yeah, he's a move around guy.
Yeah, he's a move around
guy in
But
Miami.
like, here's one thing about CD. I
but
think
CD doesn't have to move around. either.
That's what I was going to say. Is like I think people have penciled in CD as like, oh, this is the guy you have to move 100% of
he
the time.
take-
No, CD moved probably about 60% of the time last year, and they moved other guys too. Like that's why I thought the Cooper Kupp thing still made sense. Like you could still have Cooper Kupp move
Right.
and also do that, but
Like, you could have Tyreek Hill stand there
Right.
and your team's better.
Right.
For sure.
He takes the top off of defense. He's a threat. Just being on the field is what he's saying. And the speed factor and what he opens up for CD and the guys underneath.
You just want him here because his last name is Hill.
Oh yeah. That's
No,
right.
I mean all
You
Hills
want to
are
win?
good.
Put Hill in.
You
Yeah,
got-
you want to be able to say that.
No.
You wanna say it.
He has a great relationship with Micah. You know, he was at Micah's event a couple of weeks ago.
That's true.
But again, we're talking about difference makers, and he is a difference maker closer to his prime, and it's a huge need for the Cowboys. I've been talking about a speed receiver being able to take the top off the defense, you know, as a need for this team for a couple of years now, and here's a guy that's there that fits the bill perfectly.
I think too. One thing we got to establish with the Cowboys is like honestly, I would not be surprised if they did the boop 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 boop, picked up the call and said, "Hey, what would it cost for Jalen Ramsey and Tyreek Hill?" Right? They find out and they're like, "Oh, that market's just a little bit too strong." I think if you look at what the Cowboys have done historically, they don't like markets. They don't like the open market. They don't want to engage in competition or a potential bidding war. I mean, we saw it this year. They at the owners meeting, Stephen Jones kind of relented the fact that like, oh, you know, hey, we were in on some guys, we just couldn't quite get the deal done.
Yeah.
Well, the reason why you can't quite get the deal done is because you're never willing to go over the top for these guys.
Yeah.
And then guess what? There's always going to be someone that is willing to take that next step.
Right.
So if you're not willing to take the next step, you're not going to be able to get these guys, which is why if you look at the guys that they sign, they're in-house because guess what? They don't have a market yet.
Right. And as Jerry said, donuts mean the best things I've had, I've overpaid for.
Yeah,
So
and
you got to, you're not going to underpay. You have to overpay for the best things you have. And you know, if you talking about my name, Calvin Hill, Tony Hill, Clarence Hill,
Lakers in 5.
Lakers. You know, I'm messing with the Lakers. Fake show, dead.
Tyreek could be a rental too.
yeah, no,
And that's one of those things where if you're looking at it that way, then you do have to get into cowboy brain where it's like, okay, if we're going to have him for 1 year and somebody else might want him for multiple years, then someone else is going to give up more for him. If we don't want to make that commitment, then it's like, sure, you wanted what, a 6th round pick? And they're like, well, actually, we were talking about a 3.
Yeah.
And you're like,
then I'm out.
If they're trying to get out, you have the leverage. So obviously, you're not going to overpay for him. If you're already paying the $21 million salary, it has to be a day 3 pick
Well, here's a good
type
example.
situation. And if you can get it for a day 3 pick,
Yeah.
then go for it.
Trade
If
for
it's
both.
it's a first or second day pick, then you're out.
Here's also a good example. Look at the trades they completed this year already, right? You know, Kyrie Elam, Kenneth Murray, and then Joe Milton specifically. Joe Milton, the Patriots had better offers for Joe Milton. But Joe Milton said, you know what, I kind of want to go to Dallas. That seems like a good place for me. So they took a lesser offer to send him to Dallas, right?
Yeah, they did him a solid.
They did him a solid.
Yeah.
So I think the only way a guy like Jalen Ramsey, when we're talking about mutually negotiating trade places, is if he says, you know what, dude, I want to go to Dallas specifically. And then my Dolphins are like, you know what, I'll make that happen.
I want to go play with Zeke.
One thing about Jalen Ramsey, he's on record saying
pick-
that he would
they're
never
pick-
pay for the Cowboys because they passed on him in a 2016 draft. Of course, I say just because you said it then, don't make it so now. But he still harbors some feelings about the Cowboys taking Zeke over him in 2016.
Which, as soon as the Cowboys are a team that shows interest and he realizes how much money is to be made by being a
Right.
Dallas
Go
Cowboy,
somewhere
he
else.
would say,
Just-
you know, the reason I said that is because I was so hurt and I
Right.
wanted to be a Cowboy so bad, and now I get to make it
in
right.
the famous
Spin
words of Jerry Jones, just because I said it, don't make it so.
zone. I say go ahead and trade for both of them.
Such a wild quote.
It's a fact.
If you could trade for both of them, that would like in the next week, it would turn your whole draft board upside down. Like you would now take up two major needs at cornerback and at wide receiver that you can now, like you really start talking about getting wild. To your point, your agenda, you might can go up and say, you know what? If I want to go up and get Genty,
Yeah.
I might can go. If I wanted to move up and get Genty, I know you don't like move up and get running backs.
Yeah,
but
no,
like,
it's rule number one.
If you
You
wanted
cringe,
to, like
Jared.
now,
Rule number one.
you're open to do anything and not have to. Like you could get real wild in that draft if you address those two needs via trades. And I know those are wild, wrecky speckies, but that would take your board. That would take your board to a different place.
We love a good Recky spec. We love jeffing around.
I think
It's a
if
good
they
time.
did that deal, they got both of them, they would take a guy like Shamar Stewart at 12.
Which is, I mean, that's possible anyway.
Yeah.
You know what's funny, and it better be
Better be
funny.
funny,
As we talk about Ramsey in 2016 and being mad at the Cowboys, where would the Cowboys be if they'd have taken Ramsey instead of Zeke
Better.
and taken Derrick Henry, which they could have done in the second round that year?
Better.
Oh, my God.
Might have won a Super Bowl at this point.
Oh, my
But
God.
are both those guys still Cowboys? Probably. They
Yeah.
signed
Oh,
out.
yeah.
They don't let their-
They don't let
Yeah.
their studs
Yeah,
go.
yeah. If they had the careers they have now,
For sure.
they've had, and the Cowboys could have taken them, should have probably taken them, taken Ramsey and then Henry in the second round. Oh, my God. We'd be having a different conversation.
I've always wondered what happened last offseason. I feel like Derrick Henry wanted to be here. Did they?
We already got our over-under.
They didn't make the damn call to Derrick Henry. And I'm tired of people saying he wouldn't have made a difference. You don't pass on putting better players on your team. Whether it made a difference in 1 win, 2 wins, it doesn't matter. He was better than what the Cowboys had.
Tell him, Joe.
You got Julio Bourbon in center. You're looking for an upgrade. You know what I'm saying? Coming up next on the DLLS Cowboys podcast, we got him. We shamed Kuiper. He's fixed his mock. We got it fixed. It's next on the DLLS Cowboys podcast.
And as you can see, as I go out here in the sports world and I make my Recky Specky picks, I got my Recky Specky Shady Rays on. Shady Rays is the glasses choice that Jesse Holly uses. As the weather is changing and it's getting nice outside, you need you a pair of nice Shady Rays polarized sunglasses that you can get in any style and any color. And if you act today, if you use the promo code DLLS, you can get 35% off a pair of polarized sunglasses. And no matter what your team color is, Shady Rays will have glasses in the style that you love. And not only will you love them, over 300,000 people have given them 5-star reviews. So they all can't be wrong about Shady Rays. Your boy Jay Holly ain't wrong about Shady Rays. And I want you to be a part of the Shady Rays family. So head over to ShadyRays.com, use the promo code DLLS, and get you 35% off a pair of polarized sunglasses. Now, you won't look as good as me, but you can look like me.
Yeah, which is really a step up for guys like me. Let's talk about our friends at Sleeper that I love oh so much. The promo code you need is DLLS, boys. Download the Sleeper app. It is the best fantasy league platform out there. I've played my fantasy football on there for years. But now you got your picks, your daily fantasy. I like to grab a random goalie. Usually it's Bobrovsky. I can never find an emergency goalie, like the guy who just sits there eating a hot dog. And I want to see if I can pick like more than half a save. But I've never seen that on there, so I just picked the starting goals.
Don't take Stars money line right now. Ain't looking too good for
struggling. We got the Abs in the first round.
Yep. Six in a row.
Stars in 5. What's up now?
There you go. Stars in 5.
How many games did they play in the first round? Stars in 3.
No, they play 7.
Okay, Stars in 5.
Stars in 5.
You got it, buddy.
Clarence Hill, Tony Hill.
Stars in 5.
Stars in 5.
So just all you got to do.
Are they cratering?
No, Clarence. Download the Sleeper app. Use the promo code DLLS.
Boys.
I'm saying.
DLLS boys.
Welcome back. It's the DLLS Cowboys podcast.
Oh, boy.
You can just tell when Clarence is winding up to start a whole new topic in the middle of a spot break.
I was
4 seconds left.
You guys hear Patrick Creighton's going to the golf tournament?
I was not. That's not what that was about.
If it was going to take 2 seconds, it was going to.
I'm sorry. You brought up my name like.
What's your middle? I need your middle name.
Clarence Edward Hill Jr.
Clarence Edward.
Edward. That's my brother's middle name.
It's Clarence Edward Hill Jr.
Damn it, Eddie.
No Eddie. Never been an Eddie. Never been an Eddie.
So we have a new mock draft, and I'm happy because I think it gives Mel a chance to not be wrong. You know, Mel Kiper's
so quick.
Mel Kiper's done a good job. 2 out of the last 3 years, he has accurately picked the Cowboys' first-round pick in his mock drafts, and I don't know which one he's going to count as his going into this one, but he's going to want to count the one that he did with Field Yates, because I'm just telling you guys right now, this isn't me wishing it. This is me telling you. The Cowboys are not picking a non-Genty running back at 12. This is me telling you that. It's not happening.
Not a Recky Specky.
It's not happening. It's not going to happen. And if it does, I will not
delete this stuff.
I will not be accountable for what I've said.
We can just delete it.
I just say stuff.
Yeah, we can delete it.
They're not picking a non-Genty running back at 12.
I mean, we've been saying this, and I've said it. I said it on here. We've said it on social media. Mel just talking, okay? He has no inside sources saying that they were picking Hampton And even though he did in his first 3 mock drafts and they were picking Hampton, he's trying to connect dots that are not there. His first mock draft when he picked Hampton, he said, well, they have a history of doing it. Remember they picked Zeke in 2016? Yeah. This had nothing to do with the 2016 draft. Mm-hmm. They've been on record saying they value running backs differently now than they did then. And the reason they picked him because they were trying to further the Jason Garrett agenda, and he was still going back to the 90s and we need a running game and all this other stuff, to win. And they thought they were close, hanging around the rim. But Mel was full of junk when he said it the first 3 times.
Damn, Clarence.
I'm just saying. Let's keep it real.
Also, who did he take this time in the field?
So we go through here. What they did was Field Yates made the odd number picks. Mel Kiper made the even number picks. They both opened up their own individual Nicholas Sparks their notebooks.
Whoa.
And then they worked their way through who they wanted to pick.
That was solid.
Thank you.
That's solid.
Cam Ward, Travis Hunter, Abdul Carter, Will Campbell. Mason Graham, Ashton Genty, Armand Membo. Man, those are almost automatic at this point. Like, that is 1 through 7, which means it will not happen. 8, Jalen Walker to the Carolina Panthers, Georgia linebacker pass rusher. 9, Shadur Sanders, Colorado. 2, getting his number retired.
Right.
Shadur Sanders.
No titles. 13
That
and
was
12.
wild.
13 and 12 overall record, but 2 numbers retired for their career there.
So that's what happens when you fell off so hard and then you have a very influential head coach that you're terrified of and you need. And it's like, you wanted to do what? And he's like, retire their numbers.
Well, did you see the numbers for spring game too, attendance-wise? What their tickets sold? It's like more than half less than what they've had previously.
Well, yeah.
They're like, we got to pump those numbers up.
Right, but Oklahoma had a spring game this week and had 5,000 people there.
Yeah, that's
after having
You
50,000.
got to take shots at Boomer Sooner.
No, I'm just saying that the spring games are not what they used to be, period. It's not just about college.
No,
they're not what they used to be when you used to have a sold-out crowd.
Oh, Notre Dame did 70,000? TC? Notre Dame did that? Shadur Sanders at 9. Tyler Warren at 10.
It's the Bears, wow.
I would like to shout out Field Yates. 49ers at 11. Kelvin Banks. Somebody's got the nuts to realize he's actually really good at football and stop pretending he's going to get picked in like the 30s. And then at number 12, the Dallas Cowboys. This is Mel Kiper making the pick.
And why it's interesting.
You think he's just going to talk as if I already said who it is? You think he's just going to talk as if I already said who it is? Oh, we lost Jesse.
You already say who it was?
I didn't say who it is.
No.
We already set it up by trash him at the beginning of the segment.
I know, but we haven't established who the pick was.
I didn't trash anybody. Yeah. It's not Omarion Hampton.
I know.
Okay.
I said that's why it's interesting is because Hampton is on the board.
Omarion Hampton is on the board.
That's my point.
And it's
why
the man who's
why
been
it's interesting
picking him.
because Hampton's on the board.
And the guy who's been picking him for 3 straight.
Yes, that's all I
Suddenly-
was
Jesse, for all our podcast listeners, is literally on the floor laughing, rolling on the floor laughing.
All I was saying was why it was interesting is because Hampton is on the board, and I was not going to name the pick.
And that is interesting.
And he thinks I was going to name the pick.
I thought you were just going to start talking about the player
I
they
thought you
did
were-
pick.
No,
Without even saying who it was.
No, I said why this is interesting is because Hampton, the agenda, is still on the board. That's all I was going to say.
Okay. All right.
Was that really all you were going to say?
you are
Yes.
classic.
No.
That's why.
Cap.
That's why we're sitting. That's why this segment is
Brother,
important.
you are classic.
Cap. Can I
You
tell
my dog. You my dog.
Come on, that's
You
all
my
I was going to say because Hampton's on the board.
RQQ to the good bros? Is that how you would say that?
Yeah,
Yeah, that's exactly
it's
what
rude. It's rude.
That was
It's
good
rude.
cadence?
It's what?
It's rude to the good brothers, but that's
Rude?
okay. Yeah.
That was good. That was good. That was good. He gave you- That was good. That was good.
Yeah.
That was good.
Go ahead.
Anyway, what I was going to say is
You know, it's kind of interesting, though.
what I was going to say is to the people in the chat who don't like it when we get derailed a little bit and maybe 4 or 5 minutes go and we didn't actually really talk about Cowboys. Like, I'll apologize to you, but I love it. And so what I need in the chat is like, if it is just universally not appreciated and you want us to just be squared away,
Oh my God.
let it be known. And I'll give you a boring ass. I can't.
Okay,
The cast is too good.
We're not
We
seam
can't be-
heads.
We can't be.
Oh.
We ain't.
At number 12, Mel Kiper says, I thought about North Carolina running back Omarion Hampton,
What?
Thought about it.
Thought about it.
but the possibility of Matthew Golden's 4.29 speed and great route running opposite CeeDee Lamb just make too much sense. Why didn't it make too much sense in your last 3 mock drafts, weirdo? The Cowboys can finally get some reliability at wide receiver 2 for quarterback Dak Prescott. They haven't had 2 wide receivers over 700 yards since Lamb and Coop. did it in 2021. So Mel's getting it fixed for you. I just want people to know, if you're looking for a realistic pick, it ain't going to be Omarion Hampton. Matthew Golden, decent chance.
Yeah.
That I can see. I can't see Hampton.
Yeah.
I can see Golden, so congratulations to Mel. You got a chance to get it right.
The thing that's so funny about Mel,
It better be funny.
it's Mel switching up though, is because he was so adamant about this, right? With the other mock drafts,
Three
three straight mock drafts. 4. He had his own personal one the other
Right,
day about like
right,
2 days ago
right.
that still had Hampton going to the Cowboys, and then he does 1 hour-long special with Field Yates, and Field Yates, actually has the chance to be like, you know what, Mel, you're crazy for this
Shamed
pick.
him a little bit?
He shamed him. He did. He was just like, he's like, yo, I'm going to tell you why this pick is not right. The Cowboys have so many other needs. He went on for 2 minutes, and like Mel's like, well, let me ask you about this. And Field's like, okay, ask me about it. I'll tell you why. Again, it's a dumb pick.
Oh, you got to
A
respect
day
the
later,
old guy.
heel turn. No more Marion Hampton.
You got to respect your elders. Sounds
I
like
know
Field.
you guys are always talking about, Jesse, we shouldn't public shame. Public shaming works.
Yeah, it does.
Public
Shame's a good tool.
shaming works.
It's a
We
valuable
need
tool.
to get back to more of it. We've gotten a little bit too sensitive in society. More
Yeah,
public shaming, and
What?
we'll correct some things.
And,
yeah,
and
shame
public
is-
shaming of national guys who have no insight of what's going on locally. That's what I hate. It's like everybody gets so crazy about what they say on First Take or what they say on all these other shows. They know nothing about the inner workings of what's going on.
Yeah.
You know,
Mel don't have no sources.
he ain't got no source with the Cowboys, no. And this was not based on sources. It's based on, hey, the Cowboys drafted. He's trying to connect dots that make no sense.
Tell
Step
y'all-
on his turf, boy.
I tell
You're
y'all-
stepping
No,
on his turf.
when you step on my turf, I'm gonna bite. I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna bite. There's no question about that. We're gonna bite back. Okay, we gonna bite back. That's why I'm so hard on Shady McCoy, because he just is stupid. And they try to go viral with things on the Cowboys
Shady
that have no.
subtweeted himself.
I know.
Yes, I know.
But it creditable.
Yeah, that have no basis, and we have to answer for it. We have to talk about dumb stuff that people naturally say that has no foundation. That's what's so frustrating. So yeah, when you say something crazy on my turf that cause me to do work or run things up the flagpole, I'm gonna bite back.
Yeah. By the way, Mel made that pick because I've been DMing it. Like, they're going to take Hampton. They're going to take Hampton. They're going to take Hampton. That's why he's been doing it. And I DM'd him. And I was like, I was just kidding that whole time. And you really wrote it. You're insane.
Did you really do that? No. How about
I don't think he has a cell phone. So I generally don't think that he was
Well,
like
that's what they said. He
I don't
don't
think he
have
was
a-
in
beneath you, though.
tune.
It's not beneath
That's
me
not
at
beneath
all.
you at all.
At all.
When it comes to this draft stuff,
At all.
that's not beneath you to DM and say things like that.
I mean, I got some turf things that go on in my brain too.
No,
I know
turf.
I know when your boy watches a guy and starts talking about him, tweeting about him. I watch other people's rankings change. I'm like, okay, I see what you're doing.
Listen,
You're
outside.
listening to the right one, baby.
You outside. You outside.
You
People
outside.
know who you are.
I'm usually inside, but I do need to be outside more. It's good for you.
It's not.
Makes you feel good. So yeah, how you get? They got the Cowboys taking Matthew Golden there. Let's hit some of these super chats because I don't think I've hit one all day, and I'd like to apologize for that. Please hit the like button. Keem is in the super chat. I know how Jesse makes his ribs. I'm curious how everyone else cooked their ribs.
You like your rib, Jesse? What we missing? You smiling?
Inside joke.
What we missing, Jesse?
I'm not doing it.
You know Keem?
I like ribs.
How do you make your ribs?
I don't have the patience to do ribs right. I just fire the big green egg up way hotter than I need to, get the internal temp right, and eat the hell out of them.
I
I'm
just
not
bought
putting
a
mustard
house.
on them things. I'm not wrapping. I ain't doing it.
I just bought a house. Haven't done it yet, so I will.
You know, you,
Brandon's
you
in
can
the
you
super
can
chat.
cook out an apartment.
Brandon's in super
With a
chat.
grill?
Yeah, I did. I almost burnt down a.
You don't need a house to cook out.
condo to.
I
had a
don't.
little grill.
I can't have a grill on mine.
Oh
No, I'm literally not allowed to
You
have.
don't got no
No,
little tiny patio.
no, we're just not allowed to put grills on it.
Oh.
That's
You
a-
can't
that's
go
a
to the
rule.
pool.
I'm not using the fucking pool.
You can
grill.
take yours.
Whoa!
Oh, did I? Oh my!
Brandon's in the super chat. We all know they won't call the Dolphins. Is it because they're cheap or lazy? Are they the only team that intentionally leaves holes on the roster? They're not the only one, but it's not a good plan.
Evals were yesterday.
Yeah, you think you're safe for a week?
This man lives over there by SMU and he won't go to the pool. Okay, you know it's some sites at the
Let's
pool,
just drop
right?
that one. Let's move on.
We don't have
Dan
a
Myers.
dumb button.
No, yeah, we don't have a dumb, so we're just going to keep cruising. Dan Myers is in super chat. Off the rails are the best shows.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dan.
Knight in the 405 is cheering for his last name. How do you feel about Demetrius Knight, third round? He's a linebacker. He's not bad.
Is that
Third
kin to
floor?
you, Knight? Is that some kin to you? That's what you're
Oh.
doing? You carrying the water for family?
Is that your family?
That's okay.
Demetrius!
That's okay.
I do like him around there. Third, fourth round. I don't think it's a very good linebacker draft. I think he's probably one of the top 4 of them. Something like that, right around there. Okay, so Coming up next on the DLS Cowboys podcast, Joe will be taking a vacation. And then we'll try to remember what I typed in that we were going to talk about in the final segment of the broadcast day. We'll make our predictions for what could happen at 12. And what about that position? We might have us a little tussle on the DLS Cowboys podcast. I also want to thank you guys for being there for us. We love you and appreciate you. I would like to thank everyone for not snitching for anything you might have heard in the last segment, for being quiet about it, not saying anything, because I also have a sneeze coming. You know, it's right there in the one nostril. And it's like, do I need to? Anyway, we also want to encourage you to decide to be a diehard. Oh my God, we got a sweet deal going on. Love when we get the limited time offers going on. It's the draft offer. $36 for that first year instead of $79.99, and the draft content that you get with DLLS and with our parent company, All City, is absolutely incredible. The stuff that you're going to get, what you get access to, Fran Duffy's draft rankings, guide, scouting reports, position rankings, all those different things. You get access to that when you're a diehard. You get all the behind the scenes and premium content that is written about every local DFW team. I'm volunteering myself to become the Paige Becker's beat writer. I'm going to start writing stories on that every day. Not because she's beautiful.
Funny how all of a sudden now you're interested.
An incredible player that is now ours. And I think that I am now a WNBA fan.
You know who is beautiful? I know I'm not on there.
I am beautiful.
Haley Van Lith.
Oh, she.
Haley is also booed up, so you might want to watch.
Yeah, Jalen Suggs. Yeah, Jalen Suggs. I think he was at the drive.
Behind.
Midi.
But yeah, we want you to sign to be a diehard also because currently out of the 5 cities in the All City Network, we're in 5th place with the offers on the draft day stuff. So we need you to sign up today. We need you to go to alldlls.com. We need you to sign up to be a diehard. You can use the QR code that's on the screen while we're talking about these things as well.
$4,
yeah, what a great deal. What a great deal.
$4.
All that access.
$3.
Our Discord lounge. You can hang out on the Discord server with us, talk about all sorts of different stuff. Discounts on merch, free t-shirt when you sign up, alldlls.com. Take advantage of that $36 diehard offer. Okay? Thanks. All right, it's the DLS Cowboys podcast. What do you guys want to do? You want to do the make your prediction today, which you can change next week, or do you want to do talk about maybe a sneaky position that Joe wanted to fight about? What are you guys thinking? You wanted to fight.
I do want to fight.
You want to fight.
Be careful, Joe. Joe's letting
I'm in
things
trouble.
fly today.
Although Joe now might kind of want to sit in the back.
I was going to say,
might want to back up a little bit.
Joe wants to be. He wants to be kind of.
He want to Homer Simpson
How
back in
about
that bush.
Hey, wait, hold on.
Just don't send him to the pool.
Yeah, trying to get about there. Hey, Joe. Joe.
How about this? Tweet me your favorite first round pick,
And your favorite customer.
and if you're not a diehard, I will sign up for one of your diehard memberships. I will pay for it for the first year.
Wait, for your what? What are they tweeting?
So tweet me your favorite late round draft prospect and why.
And you gonna pick
I
one?
will pay for one new DLLS diehard membership.
For one of them.
For one of them.
Not everybody.
Not everyone. One.
What's your Twitter?
At Joe J. Hoyt.
Yeah, you're going to want to selfishly promote that for the next 12 minutes.
Yeah.
Big
When you're
money,
unemployed in
Joe.
12 minutes, you build your following right now.
That's right. I will buy you a DLLS diehard membership.
What's the
Big
handle
money,
again?
Joe.
At Joe J. Hoyt.
You on any other socials they need to know about? Anywhere else people need to find you?
Where's your
Where's your
Joe?
YouTube page at?
You got a
You on
YouTube page?
Facebook?
You wanna get
I'm not
that
on
thing
effing Facebook.
Oh, wow. You on IG? IG, Joe?
I'm on IG, yeah.
Jeremy's in the super chat. Joe going to be extra quiet the rest of the show.
Just don't send him to the pool.
All right. Make your prediction. Matthew Golden is the pick from Kuiper, kind of, except Omarion Hampton might be the pick
From Kuiper.
from Kuiper for the Cowboys at number 12. Make your pick at number 12. I'm going to hold you accountable to this pick for at least 5 or 6 days before I let you pick again. But for today, and in the chat, I want to know. Not who do you want, who do you think it is? You can give me who you want, too. Who do you want and who do you think it is? Hit them both.
I want Golden. I think the pick will be Tet.
Tet Aroa McMillan.
Based on who's going to be available. You know, it's all based on who's going to be available. Because I want Genty. But I don't think you guys, I want.
I want Abdul Carter.
Right.
And Travis Hunter.
Right. All of that.
Maybe
But
Cam
based
Ward.
on who's going to be available, I think that it's going to be Tet.
We're tallying up one vote for Tet Aroa McMillan. And how will you feel about that pick? Will it be okay with you?
Yeah, it'll be okay.
Okay.
Based on what's available.
Yeah.
Based on, and it's all based on what's available.
Yeah.
So I have to go with that.
Yeah. Jesse, are you willing to predict your guy or are you just hoping?
I'm hoping.
You want to push an agenda right now?
I
or
don't.
no?
I'm
Okay.
hoping. I'm hoping that they take my guy, Emeka.
At
But
12.
I don't think they will. I think where there's smoke, there is fire, and I think more and more that Matthew Golden pick is sounding like where the Cowboys may go. And I do think for the very reason I talked about a week ago is it's going to be you talk about selling jerseys and having storylines, having the kid from Texas
Mhm.
or play that Texas, still play in Texas.
And with that name, Golden,
With Golden, you're going to
Yeah.
there's a lot that you can do with that, like the Golden Boy, the Golden Pick, the
Golden
the
Opportunity.
Golden
yeah.
Opportunity. There's so much you can do with that name. So I think that plays a factor in it. And I want Emeka. I think he's the best fit for this football team and this offense, and it's best to go opposite CD. But Matthew Golden will be my pick.
I do want to say to David, while I always appreciate everyone's input on the show, David LeBlanc there, he said Turpin is the actual number 2 if they'll use him properly. I don't think that's true. Like, I think you are bereft at talent, and having the ball in Turpin's hands is fun, and you'd love to see him make progress. Turpin's not a receiver.
Right. No, there's still catches he can't make.
He doesn't really do receiver things.
I mean, he can be a good asset.
He
I
can run
think.
across field. He
Yeah.
can run a post. But, like, down the sideline, tracking a ball, going up to get a ball, like, there's some things that he just really doesn't kind of have in his bag. He's supposed to be a gadget. And
Yeah.
if that means he's third, cool. More likely fourth, cool.
Yeah.
You need a receiver.
Yeah. I think it's going to, at 12, I think it's going to come down to Matthew Golden or Tetero McMillan. I think there's going to be the option there. And I think the Cowboys, there's probably support both ways for both these guys, right? I think it would be Tetero McMillan in that case, though, because I think he gives you something consistently that they don't have and would not have with Matthew Golden. I think that height aspect is something that you can rely on. I've come around to the idea that 50-50 balls with him are more reliable than just coin flips. So I think that right now it would be Tetero McMillan.
Can I scroll up a little bit and see all of the different picks that people have sent
Or
in?
people going to lose their mind if they pick Tet in the first 50-50 ball he catches in training camp. You're going to
Oh my gosh.
it's
You're going to think they want
Like
to
that.
fit. You're
It's
gonna
gonna-
think
it's gonna go
Carson's
viral.
gonna bet the first
Whoa.
one away.
well,
And then
I don't know if he's going to be on
And then
that.
everybody
Just-
gonna lose their mind.
Just to Stephen Jones is on the flagship station today.
Okay.
Actually,
Right now?
as we speak.
It's 105.3 The Fan, my former employer.
Okay, I didn't know if we wanted
Home
to
run floor.
Our former, now, we parted in different ways.
on the
you
up
left.
I left.
They
on the-
kicked me out.
on the upcoming draft. He said, "I don't necessarily see us moving up based on the way the board is coming together, but I could see a situation where we move down."
Ooh.
And I think they'll absolutely want to move down. Like somebody asked me, can you see the Cowboys moving down? And I said, I would say the odds are when they're on the clock, they try. The question is, can you find a way out? Is there somebody who wants to come up? Is there a player there that somebody wants to come up for? And that the value is at least okay-ish that you're willing to move down. You need somebody to really love Tyler Warren,
If they
an
move
offensive
back,
lineman.
If they move back,
That's
ooh,
a
I'm-
Buka- that's a Buka town.
Bukkaville for me.
A Buka town.
That's a Bukkaville for me.
Right.
We have a lot of people guessing. I see Will Johnson in the chat. I did see some McMillan and some Golden.
There's a Will Johnson. Oh, yeah, you said Will Johnson.
So I'm gonna do
Slow, but cornerback.
a fake prediction
No, how do we do all real predictions and then you get to do a fake prediction? I guess it's not
Exactly.
when you're the host.
because that was the whole point.
all right.
The whole point
You set us
was
up.
I thought everybody was going to say a wide receiver,
Oh.
and while I believe that is the odds-on favorite, I just want to raise the radar that they have visited with their 30 visits 2 guys at a very premium position that are going to get picked somewhere around 10 to 20
Offensive line.
pass rushers.
Pass rushers.
They have visited Mykel Williams out of Georgia and Shamar Stewart out of Texas A&M.
And
They
Shamar,
also-
can Shamar get to the quarterback? He only has 4 sacks
he
in 4
can. He
years.
just needs to finish it.
I
He gets to the area. He just doesn't finish.
They are kind of opposites. Like Mykel Williams doesn't have big college production either, but he had better college production. Shamar Stewart is just like he's a prototype. You do not get that body and level of athleticism coming into the NFL every year. They don't exist.
Mosley Smith was a freak prototype. They
Mosley
said.
Smith was
They
a fake.
said.
Mosley
They
Smith
said.
that's
He's a
different.
perfect
Mosley
nose
Smith
tackle.
was a fake freak.
Okay, nose tackle prototype. That's what they told me, Jesse.
Let me see
Is
here.
Shamar Stewart Daniil Hunter or Vernon Golson? This is the question you got to
Jesse.
ask. No, like
yeah.
is he the guy that's going to turn 1.5 sacks his last season in college to become one of the best passers in the NFL and Daniel Hunter, or is he going to be the guy that had all the tools that never put him together?
Right. And don't know. But that's the those sorts of traits get swung on early.
100%.
And the Cowboys visited him, so I just want to raise.
Sound like a second round
the
option.
awareness that it can happen.
Okay.
He won't be there in the second round.
And I like Mykel Williams better than I like Shamar Stewart. And I do think that picks that high.
And what's the measurements on the Georgia?
I'll get it for you. It's like 6'5",
6'1".
260. No,
what?
Jalen
6'5"?
Walker's like 6'1",
Oh,
240.
my bad. Yeah.
Mykel
Okay.
Williams is
No, he's like bigger, right?
yeah, he's full size.
That's what
man.
I thought. Yeah.
He is 6'5", so just over 6'5", 260 pounds,
Okay.
4'7".
Okay.
Do I have enough time to get Jeff Durant?
About what?
Stephen Jones on the Fan.
Don't you do this to
When
me.
asked about the Micah Parsons negotiations, we're going to spend to the cap year in, year out. Not true,
Not true.
because they carried over a lot last year. Over the course of time, we're going to spend our money to try to get as many good players as we can. That's the art of the deal. They was asked specifically about the negotiations. He didn't answer that, but he was telling you about the art of the deal. What do you think about the Cowboys and their art of the deal?
You know, Clarence, I think it's a great question. And I believe that the Dallas Cowboys, in particular, 2 members of the organization, one who I believe is now referred to as co-owner, not just executive vice president.
And he
Which
knows
Stephen
people
is
call
now-
him Catboy too.
Oh, I don't. That's actually one of the things I do not do. Like
I don't
think
either.
that's,
I don't-
think
I
that's
think it's
over the
just a
line
meme.
disrespect.
Yeah, I agree.
Like I will accidentally name call sometimes, but it's in relation to whatever you're doing.
You've called Jerry a whole lot of stuff.
Yeah, but not unfairly. I don't think too many. At least not too many times. Like okay, if I say the word dumb, like it is dumb. Like when he's talking about the art of the deal, the art of the deal to them is to lose. They lose every negotiation. Like we talk about it over and over again, or maybe it's just me when I get to yelling at him because Clarence sets me up. But like, there is a way that you do things with first-round picks who you know are going to be around forever that are studs. You sign them as soon as you can because it gives you the most flexibility to add more talent. It gets you to sign them to a deal at the top of the market before the market continues to rise. Like, these are very easy and simple things that there's only one explanation, and it's not cool to be the team that you cheer for having this explanation. But the only explanation for how Dak doesn't get done on time or early, Micah doesn't get done on time or early, CeeDee doesn't get done on time or early, Tyler Smith isn't working towards an extension right now. The only way that happens is either one, you truly are dumb. And I don't believe that they're dumb. The only other answer is you prefer to be the headline on the sports shows for a longer period of time over giving yourself the best chance to build the best roster. It's the only explanation. There is no reason to be waiting an extra 2 months to call David Mulugeta to get Micah Parsons' deal done. There's no point. There's no reason. What he's going to make could change and not in your favor. And you knew what you had to pay him 2 months ago, and it was less than today. 4 months ago, it was less than 2 months ago. In 2 more months, it's possible that that number will go up again. And you know that you are going to pay the absolute top of the market without a doubt. It's absolutely the way that it's going to go. And when the guy is willing to do the deal, the only reason you don't is either you're totally inept and have no idea what you're doing in any way, shape, or form when it comes to running a pro sports team, which I think is only partially true. Which means that the more true part is you would rather it be a headline than get done and give you the best chance to compete. And I hate that is our team. I love it because we also talk about it. We do a show every day. Jerry and
Yes.
Steven are a gift.
Like the hits.
They're a
Play the
gift.
hits.
But I hate it. You deserve to have your team try their very, very best to win. Not try to win in their way while making sure that they maximize the headlines, the marketing dollars, and the ratings. But I guess it's fun. It's fun being the most popular team,
All right, let's
the
not
most
do that.
hated team.
Let's knock these last two.
What are these?
Super
Nest
Chat
does in the
chat.
super chat, and if Matthew gets releases, Chill can say he's goal
Goal
gone. Oh, if he gets released. Okay, yeah. Missed fourth and long, missed fourth and going.
Because of
Yeah.
fourth and
Yeah, we got it.
yeah.
We got it, Joe.
Mo,
got it.
Mo's just apologizing for something that he said yesterday, Clarence, and we don't even know what it was.
It's all good. I don't remember it.
No. We're glad you're sorry, though. And I'm sorry for anything that I've just said that is offensive to anyone, especially the Jones family, who I respect very much. I think Jerry's a Hall of Famer. You got to remember that.
He is Hall of Fame.
He's a Hall of Fame executive.
Never
You
take
have
that
no
away.
idea what anybody's going through. So be cool to everybody. We love you. Be easy.
Eliminate the contingencies.
We all silly like the mayor.